Holy landlubbers, is me, your Captain Vasco speaking. I don't know I just don't know what to do with my arm right now with the whole desk in the new office and all this stuff. I would like to talk to you a little bit about my day. So yesterday I talked a little bit about my week. And so like yesterday during the stream I was sort of like, well, I had committed to helping my dad with something. In fact, those of you who are on the Discord as regulars may know that before I was able to get my first Florida stream in, um, I was providing some occasional updates. There was a lot going on. And at one point, I was like, well, bought a desk, tried to assemble it, found that an important part was essentially missing, and had to order it separately and wait what was prescribed as 7 to 10 business days, which is like a while to wait for that, especially since it would mean that there was no stream at all in the meantime, because there would be no place to put my computer. Um, and then my dad, who'd been looking to replace his own office desk, he had been looking at a different model for himself for a while. And then after I had sort of chosen this one among the ones that were readily available nearby, but it's a nice desk, um, he sort of took a look at it after we unboxed it, was sort of thinking like, it is a nice desk. But once I had the discovery about the missing part, he was sort of like, I could get the same desk, and then I could give you the part that came with my desk, and then when the replacement part gets to you, we could build my desk. And I was always going to help him build the desk, but I was sort of like, that, I don't know, it seems like a lot of work. I mean, the streams have been on hold for a while. I'd like to get them going again, but, I'm not trying to make a mess out of anything. And without any further discussion about it, he was just sort of like, well, I have a desk and I have the missing part, so let's build your desk. And so that is how we were able to start streaming last weekend. But during the course of this week, the replacement part that was supposed to go to mine, because they didn't give me the part that was supposed to go to mine, arrived. And now my dad needs a desk, which, I mentioned yesterday that he had asked me to do it today. And I asked him for a time, and I didn't hear back from him like until today. My mom sort of ran some interference late last night, and basically we decided we would do it tomorrow instead. And still not looking forward to it, because honestly, building this desk was surprisingly stupid. It was a really dumb time. There are a couple steps in particular that were much more difficult than they needed to be. I am, however, proud of the fact that, does this show up on? No, it's like just out of camera range. There's like a seam where like the front sort of flat edge of the desk and the side edge that you see a little bit of joined together. And the main criticism of the desk is that people who have built it for themselves can't get that flush to be like 100% just like flat surface. And I'll grant you that mine still isn't, but my dad and I, with, just like a normal amount of effort, we didn't spend like an incredible amount of time making that work. I would say it's as close as I would expect myself to be physically possible of managing that. There was like a sample desk at the place we bought it that was like way off. There's just like a huge gap between the height of like one surface and the other. And this is off by like, I don't know, like a millimeter or something. It's pretty close. I'm pretty happy about that. But like it sucked. It sucked to do, but I was very grateful for my dad's help. Even though he got like a really last minute like work thing and had to like take like a conference call from like my kitchen or something while I was trying to do one of those extremely difficult parts, and I was making a ton of noise. And I think he thought that I had sustained brain damage and was incapable of functioning until he returned and tried to do the same thing. I was like, oh no, this is insanely difficult for no discernible reason. And I felt a little better about that because I was genuinely losing my mind for a little bit there. Speaking of losing my mind, this week has been bad. I talked a good amount about that yesterday, but at some point yesterday, I was sort of like, man, with my commitment to finish building that desk, there's just not going to be any time to try and set up the Switch to stream Princess Peach Showtime, which is a game that came out in like May or something that I wanted to stream, and there just hasn't been a good opportunity with the move and some other stuff happening before the move, and then like vacation. It was just like a lot going on, and still is all the time, always. But like because we put that off, I had like a little bit of a window today with the later stream time starts relative to where I am at, because now it starts at 9 p.m. local to me. And I was like, you know what? I should work on this. And I got like a lot of work done. But let me tell you something. I'm reasonably proud of the way I've managed to set this up. It is a very stupid thing that I've done because I'm fairly certain I'll need to move this desk, and it's just more things that I'll need to move in the long run, and like disconnect and figure out whatever. But I've started working on a system for better cable management. That isn't to say I have a good system for cable management, but as opposed to my almost non-existent previous system, it's a lot better. Um, but like I managed to rig up an old 2-to-1 HDMI switcher so that I can toggle my second monitor very easily between uh, a second monitor for the PC and channeling whatever is running through the Elgato. Really pleased with myself about that. Found a good place for the Elgato to live that disrupts nothing and reaches everything it needs to. Pretty happy about that. Did a little bit of testing, realized that I hadn't come up with a solution for listening to game audio from the console, and figured out something that should work. And it's just changing a setting in OBS. And I did that, and then I hit record on OBS, and oh my god, it was a disaster, everyone. So I think I mentioned like the first time I was streaming that like earlier that day I thought I might have like blown an entire USB port from my computer. And that turned out not to be the case, but like there was a weird non-deterministic thing going on where like I had restarted the computer like twice, and the port still wasn't working correctly, and then like after a third restart it was fine, which was like concerning, but it was working. Um so today, once I had the Elgato plugged in, and was there another thing? No, I don't think there actually was anything else drawing power that wasn't before. I think all the other hookups were HDMIs. Um, and software. But so like once I like the computer was functioning fine. I hit record on OBS to see if a recording would be capturing the game audio while still playing it back to me and not like mirroring it or duplicating it for you, which would be really annoying. And I got like overloaded USB error, and it would not stop. It kept doing that, and it shut off my mouse again. And let me tell you, it's really annoying when the computer's default response to feeling as though it has too many USB ports plugged in is to disable the mouse, because it becomes a lot more difficult to stop the task that caused it to have a problem in the first place. And it just kept like generating the message, stopping, generating the message, stopping, generating the message, stopping. And like the whole time, like I couldn't stop the recording in OBS. And then like I managed to like alt tab and then like tab through like 1,000 things in OBS to like get it to stop. And then it was still doing it. And then I tried to like Windows button, tab, scroll down with keyboard to like restart computer. And like it just wouldn't like open the power menu that lets you do that. Like I could highlight it and it just like wouldn't do it, and it was driving me insane. I had to go and like find like a second mouse in the computer in another room to like unplug my Stream Deck and plug in the mouse and then use the mouse to restart the computer. It was a unbelievable mess, and it was very frustrating. And it's like at this point I am reasonably certain that I could stream off of the Switch in particular, because I have that set up on the desk right now. But I have basically like a zone where a console or other peripheral can go on the desk and be streamed from. And I'm really happy with the way I've set this up with the monitor and everything. It's all very clever compared to my mental abilities. But like I cannot tolerate that, like me having miscalculated and that happening on stream. I'm just gonna like lose my ever loving mind. I've been through enough this week. So like even though like I am like 95+% sure that I've figured out what my issue is, and I think it's literally that I have enough devices that require USB 3, that I have like a USB 3 um like connector thing. I'm blanking on the word here. You plug it into one port, it's got multiple ports. It generates, it makes it so I can like plug in the keyboard with two cables, which is a weird thing that allows a port in the back of it to operate as its own USB port, which allows me to have the Stream Deck next to the keyboard. Uh, and I have like the Elgato needs one of those, and the hard drive that captures the stream video recordings, that also requires one. And I think currently those are the only ones that require it to function normally. But for convenience, I also had the whatever the input device is that starts the chain that leads to the microphone, the really nice microphone. That's also USB driven at the computer junction, and I had that in the splitter as well. And I think it's just there's a the bottom port on the splitter I have now has been wonky for like at least a year and a half. It never really caused a major problem, but it seems to be the common element between both of the recent issues, which were fairly significant. So I think if I don't plug anything in there, everything else seems to work fine. So I think the way everything is set up now, leaving that space blank and having all other USB ports filled right now, it should probably work. But let me tell you, I'm like not doing that today. Like I'm just not. And then while I was doing that setup, I had a really fun idea for another thing to do, but I realized it makes more sense to do that closer to Halloween, so I'm not doing that either. So that leaves us here where we're at now, which is essentially the same place we've been for every stream other than yesterday's when we played Duck Detective: The Secret Salami. So what would you like to do? Now, I already have Cobalt Core running, mostly because it is the path of least resistance, and also because I like having some ambient video game music for you to listen to while I'm waiting for people to attend the stream. But, you know, we have the same options we've discussed recently. We got Dwarf Romantic. We have insanely difficult murder by numbers nonogram puzzles that we will not succeed at. We have like Dicey Dungeon, which we haven't played in like 1,000 years. Some other stuff. Have I sorted my games into completed or not? Nah. I haven't really sorted my games particularly well at all. For a long time, I was missing the case to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. And so like that Nintendo Switch cart was just like floating around in the case of whatever game I was playing on stream. So this is another example of when I say I have like the start of a cable management system and I'm very impressed with myself, that you should not take that as an indication that anything I'm doing over here makes any more sense than the time I like built my own computer for streaming with the basis of an existing computer, and the power supply unit that I bought for it doesn't fit in the casing. It's all the same guy. He's not good at any of this. Just want to work on that and fix it yourself. In what way? You want to like recase the power supply unit so that it fits in the case that houses the rest of the computer? Oh, you want to fix the cables. I'm no good at that. I'm really not. When I there's like a point when I needed to like make an overhaul to the cabling setup I had connected to the TV at the North Hollywood apartment in California. And my dad did this like diagram based on his understanding of what my needs were, despite not necessarily understanding all of the individual disparate parts. It's just sort of like, you need a cable for this, this, and this, right? I was like, yeah. And so he like draws the TV and the computer and like the shelves that like consoles were living on, and then like a splitter, like an HDMI splitter that he found that like was supposed to solve a problem and function, but didn't actually solve that specific problem for complicated reasons. Um, and then like I get here and I'm like, I'm gonna rub some masking tape on the end of this cable and write that it connects to monitor 2 so I can figure that out later when I inevitably need to move this desk. And that process has not even been in place the entire time I've been working on this, so yeah. But like genuinely, I'm giving myself a hard time because I'm not allowed to get credit for anything that I do in my own mind. But I've done a lot of good work here today to make this work. I mean, the switcher setup alone for monitor 2 is very good. It's much better than almost anything I had going on at the last apartment just by itself. Um, but yeah, as much as I would like to start that game, there's a second consideration in play, which is the fact that I do have to get up at like not early, but like a sane human time to build that desk tomorrow. So I don't want to run until like 1 a.m. again, like we did yesterday. And that was like entirely my own fault, and I'm not gonna pretend like it wasn't. There's like no part of that transaction that wasn't my own doing. But like, yeah, I've had it's been a really horrible week. Like work has been going badly. I had like a lot of complications with my bank and trying to get this roof work done. Just the whole incident with the wireless signal repeater that I talked about yesterday, like the 4.5 hour call. It's been really bad. I've had very little time to myself, and I took like, I don't know, like 90 minutes or something before I started working on the desk stuff today, and it was like, that's really nice. So I don't want to run super long. So it's gonna be some kind of roguelike thing. It seems like it's gonna be Cobalt Core. I think there's a quiet contingent of people who want to see the end of the game, and then there's Demolition who said the quiet part loud. And then my mom, who will literally say that she would watch me do anything on stream, which that's not a reasonable take, unfortunately. I don't mean that as an insult, but like no one should be that invested in what I got going on. Um, but like yeah, uh, there's you who always votes for tiny trains. It's not that I have anything against Dwarf Romantic. It's just that Dwarf Romantic can easily balloon to like 5+ hours if you're not careful. And I'm not feeling particularly careful. So with there were several people who were here at the start of the stream, including Sarah and Project Eos and Cotillion. I'm not sure any of them are particularly inclined to be voting for anything, but in the absence of additional votes, I'm just gonna unmute Cobalt Core and play Cobalt Core. Now, the bright side for those of you who aren't super invested in Cobalt Core is that if we keep on this road, eventually we will reach the end of this game because it suggests that it has a definite end. And then when we do, there won't be any more reasons to play Cobalt Core. So there you go. It is a bonus if you have an abundance of free time, that go, which I absolutely don't. I can't stress to you enough how even setting the desk task tomorrow early afternoon aside, I really don't have that kind of time. Like, there's so many things that I have to deal with. And, like, briefly we touched on the notion that, like, a lot of times homeowners will tell, like, first-time homeowners that, like, oh, like, suddenly you have all these things to do, and, like, you should keep that in mind. And they're not wrong about that, but I do genuinely, at this point, still sort of feel like that is overstated. But, like, I feel like that's overstated because a lot of the stuff I have to do now needs to be done once and only once, but all of the things need to be done once. And so, like, until they have all been addressed, I have to do all of them. And my mom reminded me of like a super important one I'd like forgotten about today. And I'm like, oh God, now I have to do that like first thing on Monday. Because for some asinine reason, it requires a phone call and business hours, which like a surprising number of things still do, to be honest with you. But like, yeah, let's play Cobalt Core. So apparently we left off. I thought it said we were in jump 3, didn't it? Isn't jump 3 the final zone? We're not in the final zone. We're in zone 2. I feel like that's mislabeled. Or I'm stupid. One of those is more likely than the other. Let's go ahead and recap by looking at our deck, because I don't... Oh, hang on. Something weird is going on. Was I playing this game in windowed mode before? Why is it like crazy zoomed in? Hold on. Let me find... Oh. Did I... I thought I checked this after doing all the nonsense I was doing. No, it is... I think it's the issue I first thought it was. No, it's not. I need... Are you the one? Very good. This is what I wanted from my day. Why are you having a fit? What's your whole deal? I don't know what you're up to. That, like, there is a justification that would have made sense to me as to why there was an issue, and it's not the answer. I was messing around with adding a couple of full screen captures to the second monitor because it feels like it makes more sense to have that now. And I set up like a normal one for general purpose and one for the thing I want to do closer to Halloween. And this issue, whatever this was, had nothing to do with that. But I don't think I was playing this game in windowed mode, which is the only other thing that makes sense out of it. Okay, look, just for the cleanliness of editing, I'm just gonna make a new edit point for myself. Behold, Cobalt Core. No one pay attention to the past 3 minutes. Great. So apparently we're in the Sapphire cluster, and the deck that we're... Oh, that's right. We're playing like a Jupiter ship with multi-shots. Yeah, we should definitely play more of this. This is a good build. How was everyone's Saturday, by the way? So we have lots of multi-shots. We have... I guess the ship ability makes the drone card, because it has to be in your hand all the time, so it's like not part of our deck, but suffice it to say we can make Jupiter drones. And I think we started by like upgrading random cards, and they were like basic block and dodge. So we just kind of have some like heavy attacks, some multi-attacks, and then like some starter cards. But like honestly, it's like a pretty solid build, I think. Nick was in, the promise that there would be an end to the game was a promise you had for Murdered by Numbers. Did someone say birthday? I don't remember. Oh, it's Kohei's birthday, I see. That seemed particularly loud. Is that particularly loud? Do I need to adjust that? It's the long one again. It's been generating that one very frequently. Olay. Not loud to you? Okay. There's some weird thing about how the audio is set up to my headphones that seems to be making it louder for me than it is for you, which is a relatively manageable problem, but I don't know how to fix it for me. I did see your Discord post about getting the flying Pikachu from the Pokewalker. I don't really remember what that process entails, but congrats. I really kind of want to... When my brother got me the Analog Pocket, which is a device that plays like all the Game Boy games, and I started playing some OG Gen 1 Pokemon, it gave me the idea that like I would love to like invest time in just like having 151 Pokemon trained for Pokemon Stadium, and then like saving them all to a Pokemon Stadium cartridge that like I could just use as like effectively like a board game, Could be like, come to my house and we will play Pokemon. Don't worry about training them. They're all here. Let's just mash them against each other in glorious polygonal 3D. It would take a lot of time, and I definitely don't have that. That's spaceships. Oh no, it's the binary star. Just scoot the microphone a little. You know what? Let's point this a little more directly at me, I think. It might be a little better than it was, I don't know. Alright, so... I have, like, a bajillion energy. Do I have any way to draw a card right now? I sure don't. That'd be really nice. I mean, I could, like, shoot kind of a lot. But it is armored here. So it kind of doesn't do anything, huh? By the way, I mentioned my Pokemon Stadium tangent because I'm pretty sure that beating some of the various game modes in the original Pokemon Stadium unlocks like rare Pokemon that were like hard to catch in Gen 1. And I believe one of them is a Pikachu with Surf. I don't think it had Fly back then. I think that was a more recent specialty Pikachu development. But, like, the OG one was Surf because there was, like, an episode of the anime where there was, like, a surfing Raichu, I think? And then Ash's Pikachu, like, was surfing because it wanted to be included or something, I think? It's been a while. It says every 200 steps you walk in real life lets you have a wild encounter. The encounter rate for flying Pikachu is 2% and will only spawn after 10,000 steps. Once you find one, you have rock, paper, scissors system to try and lower its health and catch it. Yeah, I don't really remember catching any Pokemon in the Pokewalker, which I did have at one point. Technically, I still have it. I think the battery died. I just haven't used it in a long time. Well, I think I also have replaced the battery before. It's just kind of, like, I'm just sort of in a spot where I can't do anything, so I'm just gonna, like, shoot, sadly. They just, like, have a lot of armor, and I'm, like, not thrilled about it. So if I use that drone shift that I generated last turn... No, that doesn't do what I want. I was thinking I could, like, shift the missile and my cannon over, and the cannon would block a shot, and then the cannon and the missile would go here. But then, like, if I made another Jupiter drone, it would just shoot nothing. I suppose I can use Glissade. Yeah, that's, well, What direction would I go? I think it behooves me to go... Okay, hold on. I got one movement left still. But only 2 energy. Which means I can't even use Sear? Ugh. Bleh. Hey, wait, do I have one of those weird things that, like, gives me super duper energy for, like, breaking stuff in the middle? No, it's like an Isaac thing, isn't it? I did forget I have this. The Jupiter Drone Hub Booster. You gain an energy every time you launch a Jupiter drone while there were no Jupiter drones already in the mid-row. It's not really like, a situation you want to be in all that often, but, like, it's a nice bonus for when you're stuck there. Ugh, man, this is a weak spot. I think I just, like, I don't like this turn at all, but I think I just do the first thing I thought about. I mean, what can I draw? I can draw some things that cost 0, so maybe Draw Shot is still worthwhile even though it does nothing. I mean, all other options are worse, so I suppose I should do it anyway. Serenity now. Yeah, kind of glad to discard the lunge, I think. So now I have mucho de energero. Is that how Spanish works? So I'm gonna scoot drone, multi-shot, shield for free, basic shift, and then I think get out of dodge. So when do I get the energy? When you launch a drone and there was no drone already there. So even though for some reason I wasn't expecting to be down to none drones, that's where I'm at now. So if I make a drone, I get an energy back. Okay. I don't have a way to draw, so I can't play another drone this turn to double up on like an EMP attack. Although I wouldn't have energy for that anyway because we're on minus star. So I think I just like sidestep so my armor is where I want it, and then I guess I might as well no, actually sear is more damage because I only have the one drone, right? Although slug means that my drone remains intact, so let's just do that. It increases the number of like individual attacks I can draw that will like end the match next turn. It would help if I didn't attack its armored spot for minimal damage. Alright, so what do we have? We got weaken hull for like 1,000, which doesn't feel like what we're doing. It kind of feels like we've got a good core package of like ways to deal a lot of damage when we have like even just like 2 Jupiter drones out. So I feel like the types of cards we're looking for are mainly sort of support things. Scoot's not the worst, honestly. With Scoot, if I upgrade it to A... God, I don't... No, wait. Because the movement isn't in the same row as the attack, it wouldn't be multiplied by multiple Jupiter drones, so that's fine. That would be very, very annoying, and I do think there's at least a handful of cards that do that sort of thing, and it would be very, very annoying to calculate those turns. But like Scoot A would just sort of like continue our scaling arsenal of like efficient movements. Although really upgrading the lunge we have kind of does that. Saves us the trouble of a card I don't want to draw. I think I'm skipping this. I mean, like, the funny thing is, like, this is the opposite case of what I was just working out in my head of, like, the weaken effect is in the same row as the attack. Oh, no, wait. Because the Jupiter drones are in different columns, that would actually have, like, a cumulative effect. That would mean you'd be able to apply weak to, like, multiple spots. You could, like, make, like, a whole, like, half of their ship weak or something. Ooh, that does sound funny. That sounds, like, pretty funny, though. It's not... I don't think it's good. I think it's objectively wrong to have done that. After your first attack each turn, gain a stun charge. That's not bad, because we have so many multi-shots that triggers very easily. Repair shop. Okay, what are we doing? Wait, what are the upgrades to weaken hull? Oh my god, you can make it... You can make it so they have multiple spots that take double damage from your attacks? God, that's so funny. It's like very tempting. Yeah, I think I hate all the upgrades to EMP Slug. I would be hard-pressed to find a situation where I want to upgrade it. I mean, there's always the option to upgrade this last multi-shot. It's just always good. We could remove the basic shot, because it's just not a very good draw. It's not adding any... It's obviously much worse than a multi-shot. And it doesn't add, like, a unique effect like EMP Slug, Sear, or Weaken Hull do. Or even, like, Lunge and Draw Shot. Like, each one of those adds something in addition to the damage they're doing. And, like, Basic Shot just doesn't. Upgrading Serenity is, like, pretty good. You could draw, like, many cards off it. I'm not sure that's super helpful to us without, like, a way to make more energy. We only have one... Well, that's not true. EMP Slug, Sear, and Weaken Hull are all relatively expensive. It's pretty hard to generate extra energy in this game, so, like, most things that cost more than one I consider expensive. I think I'm gonna remove Basic Shot. It's not exciting, but, like, I would like not to draw it anymore. Okay. So, he's trying to attack me there, so I can sort of block by just, like, putting a drone out. And I can dodge for free. So I could draw a shot to try and get something cool like Weaken Hull, but that's honestly bad here. So I think my expectation is to play all of my attacks, so I should still play draw shot first. For the sake of just seeing if I draw something I want to play more than the others, but I find that unlikely. Right, we did get a Jupiter drone because obviously we would get a Jupiter drone. I don't know what I expected. I guess I'll slug. I don't like 1,000,000% know the exact interaction here, because I believe the Rogue Starnacle only has brittle while it's attacking. So I don't know what happens if you, like, negate its attack with a stun. Which, I guess, technically I do with anything. Yeah, sorry. I was checking the artifact. I'm like, the artifact is off, but I don't think I stun. But that's because I have, like, the effect down here. So, no matter what attack I make, I stun right now. So that doesn't, by itself, remove the weakened condition. But as you can see, now that it has a different intent, it's offline. Would be good to find a way to make another energy so I could... just so I have the basic option to, like, drone and weaken in the same turn, but then, you know, that also enables, like, other weaken and something else. Technically, we do, on a normal turn, we could Jupiter's Moons with no other drones out, get an energy back, and then weaken Hull. So that technically is an option. Don't love all the cannon business you got going on. I think my best course of action is to use a basic shift to move this here, and then that blocks all of the attacks on me in the short term, and then I guess I just, like, multi-shoot him. Oh, that's right, that preserves the cannon because of the stun that I'm not used to having yet. Obviously I drew the negative status card immediately, because why would I not do that? Serenity now. Okay, got that sweet slug action. So if I scoot myself 2 to the right with glissade or glissade or some other way to pronounce that, then I can Jupiter drone and then I mean, I guess I do more damage with Sear, so I should do that as opposed to Slug. Because I don't think I cared too much about losing that specific drone. Also, it's like pretty close to dead. Pew pew pew. What do we got? From Hell's Heart, attack damage equals your missing hull. I don't think so. Charge Beam. Charge Beam's pretty cool. Our deck isn't huge, and we did just cut a card. And I guess we only have 2 cards that remove themselves from the deck for the duration of the battle. Still, it's like not a ton of cards, and we have 2 that draw cards. Charge Beam is like plausible, but not obvious. But like Charge Beam is really fun with like multiple cannons from Jupiter drone, because if you have 2 or 3 drones out and you draw a Charge Beam like 2 or 3 times, it starts like doing some real crazy damage. Just to be clear, I maintain that Weaken Hull was a bad but fun pick for the deck. I think in like a world where I cared more about optimizing the run because I wasn't playing normal or because I just cared that much, I would have skipped that and probably taken Charge Beam. As it stands, I think I'm gonna leave Charge Beam. I think the multi-shots are like doing the trick. Plus, like, yeah, I think I'm alright. I forgot that that was, like, an elite boss, because they were kind of, like, soft to what we were doing. Jumper cables might be okay. It's certainly good in the short term, because we've lost a lot of hull, and I don't remember why. We could also just, like, automatically have part of most ships take extra damage. I'm kind of leaning towards jumper cables, partially because we took a card that like applies weak, and in fact like we'll probably upgrade it to apply like brittle, the double damage version of weak. But also the fact that I have that expensive card that I want to play kind of makes me want to set that up on the first turn whenever possible, because like I actually have like the energy to do it on that first turn, and having like a bunch of additional temp shields so that I have that flexibility sounds pretty good. Hull plating is like kind of like a lukewarm alternative to that at this lower difficulty. And like this feels a little redundant with the fact that I took that stupid card in the first place. So yeah, I think I'm going jumper cables. And then let's just upgrade Weaken Hull now. We could do this version that applies Weaken and then moves and then applies Weaken again, but because we don't have like a fixed stationary cannon on our ship, this doesn't actually like work the way it's intended. And in fact, I think Weaken Hull is better for us in like every way as a result. Or sorry, Weaken Hull B. We have yet to actually use it, so it might just not be good under any circumstance. Think you might let us through this time as a treat? Absolutely not. There's my drone. Morning or something. It's like reasonably late at night where I'm at, but good morning to you, Ice Bunny. How has been your day? Man, it'd be really cool if I could draw that expensive card. I have so many cards left in my deck. When looking at my deck in the shop, seems to suggest that I don't have that many cards in my deck. Right? That would be the exact card I would draw without variation. Well, at least this lets me multi-slug, multi-shot. I burned through all their shield in one turn. Of course, they're gonna make some temp shield. Don't worry about it. Well, I have weaken hull, and they didn't manage to destroy any of my cannons. So, suppose I'll do that. So the first attack would hit here. The second one would disable this cannon shot? It's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because either way, if one of these attacks goes through, it takes out a Jupiter drone. I don't think I need to move. I'm not sure I want to move. Unless I move, like, a lot. I could, like... glissade... 1, 2... and then lunge, 1, 2... and then move again? I don't think that's worth the investment of resources. Just weaken their hull. Counts the second attack card played, huh? So both of the drones die? That's mildly interesting and disappointing. Block. Sidestep doesn't turn, but Glissade does. So drone. Draw shot. Let's get a free dodge. Let's make a new drone. And then shoot like a lot. And then sidestep so that I only take 1 damage instead of like 3. It's 4 AM for you. Is that when you normally get up, Ice Bunny? I guess I often see you join the stream a little later in the day, but like, you're like a very early bun. I don't have enough movement to do real silly shenanigans, but I guess I don't need to. Can like basic shift, scoot one of these over to the danger zone, play another drone, shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah, normal difficulty. I think you just like heal max health for beating. Ooh, Serenity B. But also think twice. But think twice discards your hand. Which, does that matter to us? I think it matters sometimes to us. I think I'd rather have Serenity B. Serenity is great because it replaces itself. It maybe draws you into the specific card that we may want sometimes. Has some like ancillary upside of preventing heat damage, which is something I don't particularly want to manage all that much. And this upgraded one draws like bonus cards instead of just one. That's a really good one. So Warp Mastery, this is the good basic one that gives you more shield and movement ability at the start of every battle. Flywheel, every 10th time you draw a card, gain an energy. We're moving in that direction. That might be good for us, because that would help us weaken hull at like opportune moments. I don't know how important that is though. I mean, having the extra energy also just means that if we start moving towards a more cycling build, which would make it a little disappointing that we didn't take power-up shot or whatever that thing's called, but like it would just mean that we'd be more likely to draw into multiple multi-shots in the same turn and then still have energy to like fire them off from even just like a couple Jupiter drones. Insomnia and y'all are better company than my brain. Well, I can relate to that, but I am sorry to hear it nonetheless. Power diversion. Gain an extra energy every turn, but all non-parry card attacks deal 1 less damage. That's going to include the Drake ones, and that's going to be too big a bummer. Word Mastery's always good. I think I'm going to try Flywheel here. Chat, you start thinking about who you want on Now, someone told me that after just a few rounds, one of the characters would name this last zone, and it wouldn't be called question marks anymore. I think this is loop like 13 for me on the save file. Nope, that's not right. It's loop 17. That hasn't happened yet. I certainly play some characters more than others, but I don't think there's a character I've played, like, not at all. And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be one of the first 3 characters. So I really don't know what's up with that. Jupiter. Free dodge. Serenity now. $20. I need to draw 2 more cards in order to get another energy. So I'd specifically have to draw into draw shot. Yeah, it doesn't seem very likely. Do you think you want a trip to the dentist? That doesn't sound fun. Is that a prize? I like the dentist more than the average person. I still don't think that sounds like a prize. That being said, I need to find a new dentist. There's like a lot of new things. Like, I need to find like someone to cut my hair. I need to find like someone to do like maintenance to my car. Like, I really think I need an oil change, like, pretty bad. And I need a new dentist. And there's like probably more things I'm not thinking of. But Ice Bunny, what makes you say that? I'm kind of inclined... No, I'm just gonna Serenity. I should do it. Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to do that. I knew there was a reason I was, like, not doing it. Because the thing I wanted to do was to play a 3rd Jupiter drone this turn by playing Jupiter drone and then drawing. But I forgot, because I'm streaming and not paying enough attention. I think I like lunge Jupiter's moons. Seer? Lunge Jupiter moon Seer. Nah, I don't think that's right. With all that damage coming in, it's probably lunge, Jupiter's moons, basic shift so that they block all my weak spots, and then just shoot them like many times. Oh, that's right. It applies the stun in the first attack row, which means if I play that attack, all of my cannons will fire with the stun effect. Which would have made that turn a little easier if I thought about that, like, at all. There's a certain tooth that acts up and you're not sure if you call it an icinger in English. Not in American English to my knowledge, but that might just be a gap in my own personal understanding. I'm not familiar with the term. I am gonna play a Jupiter's moons and then weaken Hull 3 times because now their ship is like hilariously fragile. Look, like more than half of their ship will cause them to take bonus damage. And I just think that's neat. I think I'm willing to take this 2 just directly to my shield. It doesn't have a status or anything. Demotion says, I had a dentist appointment on Thursday. I was told I was the first person with perfect gums today. I took that as excellent health of my teeth. I think so. My last dentist, who I am genuinely sad not to be able to visit anymore, because she was the best dentist I have had, I think. she would always be like, wow, like you take really good care of your teeth. Whereas like the guy who like owned that practice, who I had like one appointment with, like practically just like punched me in the head. Like he was just like so he had like such terrible like dentist chairside manner, you would think that I had like shot his dog. Which actually reminds me of a weird thing. So like because I have a house now instead of like an apartment building where people are like more likely to bother people on the ground floor than up where I live. Um I have like a sort of like neighborhood watch app thing now. And since I installed it a few days ago, I've gotten like 6 alerts, and they're all just about roaming dogs. Which is weird because in my neighborhood there's like a lot of stray cats. There's like at least half a dozen stray cats. And I haven't seen a single like loose dog, but like just nothing but alerts about dogs, including someone put together like a flyer that was just sort of like, please don't call shelters about dogs. The shelters in this area are like super overfilled. And I'm like, I mean, I wasn't planning on like generating a new dog problem, but like, I don't know. It just felt like a weird venue for that. Cause like I feel like the purpose of the alert isn't to warn people that they think the dogs are dangerous, necessarily. I think it's more concerned about the dogs in the first place. That's my take anyway. I think people are trying to be like, hey, are these your dogs? If you're on this app, are these your dogs? But yeah, that's funny demolition to me, partially because I think that the dentist appointment I had that they had scheduled back like earlier in the year for like 6 months off was also Thursday of this week, and I had to like cancel that. I had to like call them back and be like, yeah, sorry about this. I moved 3,000 miles, so I'm not going to make that appointment. And they're like, okay, we'll close your account, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, you should do that. This funny says, I don't know if my weird migraines come from brain or tooth acting up. I mean, honestly, as far as I can tell, both can be factors. I have to hustle to make your home look less ADHD because they want to exchange the measurement. My parents have the light go off and the critters set it off every night. Yeah, I think one of the houses my parents have was set up with like motion sensor lights that got triggered by animals a lot. They had those lights, I think, set up at the last house, and even though there were animals in the backyard, I don't remember the lights triggering all that often. So I don't know if they were sneakier or just smaller, or they just like learned where the areas were to not spook themselves, like a person playing a stealth video game too many times. Anyway, if you have migraines, it's certainly never a bad idea to, you know, go to the dentist and take care of your teeth that way. I think, what does more damage? If this is an upgraded multi-shot, I feel like it would definitely be multi-shot. But when you factor in the doubling on 2 of these spaces and the triple letter score, I think EMP Slug first is better? It doesn't matter. I'm conflating the fact that in some cases you need to care about sequencing for stun versus not, but like all the cannons will stun with 1 card play no matter what. Oh, it's energy is the reason I started down this road. So this would be... Goodness. This would be like 4, 8, 9, 10, which would not be lethal. This would be 6, 12, 15, which would be exactly lethal. Exactly lethal. Desperate Measures B. Gain 2 shield, gain 3 temp shield, gain so much heat that you will definitely take damage. Firewall B. Gain 2 shield, gain 2 temp shield, gain 2 heat, which will not necessarily immediately trigger heat damage. Feint A. Nah, I passed on Feint. I don't care about that. Skip. So we're in the question mark zone. I still don't know what it's called. I want... Do I want artifacts more or deck upgrades more? I guess it was a little late to try and take flywheel, although it's kind of already been doing work. Like, I'm happy with it, I think, regardless. Part of me wants to remove heatsink because of the double serenity and the fact that I'm pretty hard-pressed to imagine a scenario where, like, I would take heat damage, like, 3 times. So I could try to do, like, upgrade multi-shot, remove heatsink, and then leave room to, like, upgrade or otherwise influence another card I find along the way. For some reason, that sounds appealing. Normally, I just go blindly for maximum artifacts. I think that's just because I'm trained by other games like Slay the Spire that that's usually correct. Bet you won't let us shuffle your ship parts. Ooh. It should be like a lateral move at worst, I think. Because, like, I'm still only going to have one port and one blank space and one weak spot. And then everything else is, like, the same. Sure, do it. I really don't... This in particular is a bummer. The empty space just being on one side. I guess it just effectively made my ship narrower. And, like, didn't in any way change... This may be the worst case scenario for the shuffle. Is that I have, like, roughly the same weakness and lose the benefit of the blank space. I mean, I still gain 2 hull or whatever. Dang, Eunice, you hang out with these guys now? Hey. It's Drake in front of non-pirates, come on. Sure, you've gone soft. Don't let their dumb faces fool you, these guys have hit pretty hard. If you say so. The Missilier. Xbetty says, her dentist is a nice guy, but he's such a crybaby on her behalf. I know I have sensor issues with toothpaste and ADHD. Do they just spend, like, an inordinate amount of time, like, asking you if everything is okay? Probably better than the alternative. I don't have anything to draw and play another Jupiter moon, huh? Oof. Not looking great. I kind of don't want to play Weaken Hull here. Because I feel like I can do better. Is that actually true, though? That might not be true. It is a bummer that I drew none card draw cards. Because any one of those would at least give me, like, some potential for, like, playing out 2 Jupiter drones and then, like, maximizing the Weaken Hull. This is a fairly bad draw from this deck. It's not like a statistically extremely improbable draw, but it's pretty bad. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think basic shift. I'm gonna move this in front of the 2 damage cannon. Do I want to move over one so I don't take damage by putting my, like, armored space opposite their cannon? I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna shoot them, like, a lot of times. I'll take the 1. Let's glissade to the left. And then Jupiter. And then Serenity. Ooh, that's fun. Drew 2 0-cost cards. And triggered new energy, which I forgot is a thing I could do. And then we'll move 1. And then we'll play Jupiter's Moons. And then this would be like a lot of damage. This would be like a lot of damage. This would be 12, is that right? Because each one would do 4. It's not lethal though. And they got that stupid homing missile that I'm not a fan of. What could I draw for 1 off of Draw Shot? Well, I will definitely draw Jupiter's Moons, which isn't great. But I can either draw Serenity, which could maybe draw into multi-shot, or I could draw multi-shot itself. So I got like a 50-50. Draw shot for 3, followed by 9. That's still 12, huh? That's how math works. Is there any other way that the math does something useful? I don't think so. Just do this. I mean, it's like pretty good, but I am going to take missile damage. It's not like a lot of missile damage, but I'm going to take missile damage. Hey, we actually drew Weekend Haul. It doesn't actually do anything. I kind of wanted it for the lulz, but it doesn't do it. They're at 1 because I barely missed killing them last turn. Ooh, Charge Beam came back. That might be that wild card I talked about saving an upgrade for. I mean, our deck doesn't cycle that much, in fairness. This may be too ambitious. I'd probably be better off upgrading Draw Shot, frankly, than taking this. Do I want Escalate, though? Oh, you can make Escalate cost 0? That is probably worth taking. That's a reasonable wild card. Because then, if I happen to draw into it off of some bonus draw, then I can play it right away, even if I don't get extra energy. And it makes the multi-shots scale, like, horrifically. Yeah, I'm gonna take that one. A boss. Not the most imposing boss. That good for me. No card draw card. That's sad for me. Sad Vasco. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think the interaction here, if I escalate and then multi-shot, I don't think it kills them, even though... Oh, no, they have 7 anyway. There's no chance it would kill them. For some reason, I read that as 6, and I was like, I think even just, like, the first shot wakes it up so it gains more health, but, like, it doesn't matter. I wish I had a card draw card. This would be a really good boss to try and, like, set up multiple Jupiter drone weekend hull against. I think as it stands, though, I'm probably just better off, like, escalate, spew. Wow, that actually would have killed it in theory. That's interesting. I didn't think it would. Right, the stun applied before there was any ill intent. That's really awkward. 2, 3, 2, 3. I might just like glissade and move here to the right. I should probably just multi-shot. I think that gets the most value out of my overdrive status. Haha, my blank spot at the edge of reality. Jupiter drone. Serenity now. Move you to one side. Jupiter drone. Draw shot. Free shield. 8. 2 drones do 8 with Seer, right? Why is this math so hard for me today? Because it does 2, it does like 4 for each one. So that equals dead. Okay. Because if I didn't kill it that turn, it was actually starting to look a little ugly. Endless magazine, very fun. Not what we're... Wow, it's even upgraded to A, huh? Oh, it's already upgraded to A. Oh man, if that was it, I'll tell you what, if that was in line, if that attack was like linked to getting the status that gave you the free attack card, like chip damage or whatever, I would take that because I'd fire it out of multiple Jupiter drones and then just like infinitely draw 0 attack cards to put out of Jupiter drones, and it'd be my birthday. Quick thinking. Quick thinking's pretty good. There are some cases where it could pay for itself because of the weird artifact we took, the flywheel. And also it just sort of, you know, draws cards to try to draw us into... I mean, things that draw cards are kind of good with the combination of, like, energy and Jupiter drone because, like, with this ship in particular, where the card that makes the Jupiter drone, like, goes on top of your deck, basically... if you want to play multiple in one turn, drawing cards lets you do that. I think I'll take that. I'm not sure if it's good. Radar subwoofer. An exclusive to this ship I'm not sure I've seen before. Jupiter drones do 1 more damage when directly in front of your comms. It's neither great nor terrible. It's interesting. I'll let 3+ heat your attacks do more damage. Nah, thanks. First time you lose hull each turn, gain an overdrive. That's cute. I think Subwoofer's the best one for us. I don't know how often I expect that to matter, but it does seem good. With, like, the multi-attacks and everything. Heal booster, that will almost definitely not be relevant. So what did I want to upgrade? Escalate and quick thinking. Well, escalate for sure. We'll start with escalate. Upgrade. Escalate. I would like it to cost 0. God, this thing doesn't even exhaust. You can keep drawing a 0 cost damage booster? That's nuts, man. That's macadamia nuts. This is for free. Let's do... Which one? Oh, comms is... Oh, comms is my weak spot. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So I want to, like, drone and play, like, another drone, probably. Which likely involves Glissade. So I Serenity to draw the drone again and play it. And then I just, like, play my hand out here, so lunge puts me back where I started. Guess I don't really have much choice in anything other than sequencing, which doesn't really matter. You know what? Yeah, I could have done that more smart guy-like. It's fine. I got 3 shield. I just need to... I should move... If I move left, I take... No, it's better to move right. Isn't it? Yes, it is. Interesting. So, Jupiter Moon... Wow. This hand, huh? This hand. Escalate multi-shot Seer with 3 drones out. I don't think it's gonna kill them. The ship has like 1,000,000 health, but like, boy, that sounds good. Let's let the game do some math for itself. That was one of the 2 cards that attacks for multiple times. Granted, they have armor here, which will mitigate this following one because it doesn't have piercing, but like, it's still 2 normal spots, and it's doing enough damage it will do some there. That actually was lethal, holy crap. I didn't do the math, but I didn't think that was lethal. Parry B. Nah, I don't think so. Options A gives you evade and gives you next turn draw. Now that Escalate A costs 0, how do I feel about having a higher quantity of cards that draw cards, as opposed to having Quick Thinking also cost 0? I think it's kind of close. This is upgraded. The basic one would give less evasion. Interesting. Evasion is reasonably useful. Like, evasion is a good resource because it helps us move to multiple positions to drop multiple drones in one turn, and then, like, have all of them multi-shot. I mean, it's already upgraded, so I don't have to upgrade it, so I could still spend my upgrade on either Draw Shot or Quick Thinking. Almost definitely Quick Thinking. Because, like, none of the other cards... I mean, like, I could upgrade Serenity to another Serenity B, but since it already costs 0, I don't think that's as helpful. Yeah, I'm going to take options. And then I get Ion Converter. If you end your turn with more than 0 energy, gain a shield. That will happen sometimes, but not very often. Every 5 parry cards played, gain a chip shot. That feels reasonably likely. Sharp Edges. Every time your discard pile is shuffled into your draw pile, the enemy loses 1 hull. We do a decent amount of drawing, but I think our deck is big enough that we don't, like, cycle all the way through it to cause that shuffle to happen terribly often. I think I'm better with just, like, on a turn when I play multi-shot, I will get an extra shot from my cannons. It's basic, but it's also classic. So I would like to upgrade... Yeah, out of these, Quick Thinking is definitely the one. Oh, although, that does cause it to remove itself. Does that change my opinion? I could also upgrade Draw Shot so that it draws 3, which is pretty funny when you consider that we get an extra energy every 10 cards we draw, and if you start, like, scaling a 3-card Draw Shot to multiple... Oh, no, wait. It doesn't scale because it's not the same row. God, it's so hard for me to, like, track and remember, even though it's not that hard to track or remember. We just get rid of Heatsink? It's bad. of having second thoughts here. It just feels kind of close. Drawing 5 has benefits. Drawing 3 for 0 has benefits. I guess I have literally one more battle, and if it goes long, it's probably bad for me. So, like, let's just stick with the plan and make quick thinking cost 3. Or cost 0 for 3 draw. Play a drone. Draw shot. Jupiter moon. I think Serenity? Free dodge, that's fun. I would like to glissade to the left. Jupiter's moons. And now I have... Now the problem here is I would like to multi-shot twice, but I don't have piercing and I'm facing 2 armored spots. I think Seer is correct, it just bums me out a little bit. It does disable like all their cannons, so I take 1 damage that I have temporary shield for, and I don't think I want to use the quick thinking. I guess I could have tried to draw Escalate A, that seems like a real outside shot. It's a lot of Jupiter drones. Free block. Only got 1 move, huh? What are the odds I draw into some kind of move? Not actually that bad. Oh, but if I try to drone and then Serenity, with this Serenity, I will just draw the Jupiter's moon that I will have just played. So I think... Yeah, I kind of want to draw into Lunge. So I think I Serenity now. Hey, I drew Lunge. That's exciting. Don't think I care tremendously about stunning the stunning the things that are opposite my drone cannons. So let's escalate first, and then lunge, and then move Jupiter's moons, and then apparently I still have energy for Slug, which will be pretty good. And I take none damage. Somehow I'm like really dialed in for this fight in a way that I have not been for any of the previous ones. I think it's because like the plan is coming together. Alright. So options A doesn't draw me cards now. These drones are in a position where they will prevent me from taking damage, but then I will lose a bunch of drones, which I don't know that I can do too much about, because options A doesn't draw any cards now. I can't draw anything I don't have with this hand. So that being the case, I think the best thing I can do is just populate the field with more drones and then attack for as much as possible. So I think I like basic shift, move everybody, drone, multi-shot. This way I lose 2 drones. Maybe I should have options there instead of making another drone. How did I do enough damage that I pierced the armor and caused the concussion? How did I do that? I don't have anything that gives piercing. Well, I guess this one is supported by my comms, so that makes sense. But why did this happen? I mean, I'm not exactly complaining. I just wish I had done that on purpose, because then it would have been really smart. I mean, look at all these drones. I have a comically large number of drones right now. And I have extra energy and weaken hull? Like, that's just stupid. I wish I had a single 1 energy attack. Because then, like, weaken hull followed by that would just be absolute anarchy. But, like... chip shots! Oh my god. Absolutely saved. Hang on. How much damage does that do? Also stuns for, like, max comedy value? Like, holy crap. That does, like... I don't think that's lethal, hilariously. Yeah, off by 1. If I options, then I can move left 1 and take none damage. And that, my friends, is a incredibly perfect run of the boss for no reason. That went stupid good. You are growing stronger. Who shall it be? Who shall it be? I think I need 1 for both of these. So I think choosing either one means that I, like, no longer have to play with them. Whoever you like less, Riggs it is. Perry's probably my favorite mechanically. And I don't dislike the character, it's just like... I will never be mad to have Perry on the team. Also, Riggs is, like, story critical. Look, my memory is still hazy, but I'm pretty sure this whole thing is, like, at least 10% my fault. That is a low estimate. Any chance you could, like, use your time magic to change it so it's not my fault? I don't have time magic. I am not Yu-Gi-Oh's time wizard. Worth a shot. Yes. T plus 39 seconds. Hello? Anyone? Drake? Anyone on this frequency? Perry? Anyone? Ah, no. What are you? You are not supposed to be here. No kidding. What's going on? What did I do? You shattered the crystal. And you yourself have been shattered. What are you talking about? Listen carefully. That's not my strong suit, but I'll do my best. I'm already wearing my strong suit. It's a spacesuit. You have a piece of me. Huh? This chunk of crystal? It is your only tether to this reality. Do not lose it. Oh, okay. Anything else? Hello? So that explains why Books is able to join us when they, like, start messing around with the crystal. Plot development. Nice Funny says, you always find the games with the cutest characters. That's kind of my whole jam. I don't know if there are any other indicators that might tip you off to the fact that that's kind of my jam, but, like, that's kind of my jam. I mean, to the point that some of you on the Discord may already know this. This week, when I had none time, I still made time to go out to McDonald's, a restaurant I can't eat at because I'm allergic to it. In order to obtain Yu-Gi-Oh! Hello Kitty crossover plush. It's kind of a basic plush toy, but it's very cute. This is the Blue Eyes White Dragon Cinnamoroll. It's the only one I've been able to find so far. I have 3 of it because I went to a second place and they told me they had 2 different ones, and I was like, give me 2 different ones. And they were all Blue Eyes Cinnamoroll. But it's very cute, so I'm not mad, just disappointed because I have none others after putting in some effort. Great. So, should definitely be playing with Dizzy and or Max. Let's do a Max run. Alright, chat. Since I've sort of forced this game upon you for many weeks, I know some of you are still enjoying it. I don't know that anyone actively dislikes this game, but it's just been a thing that's been easy to stream in the midst of some chaos, like my computer trying to self-destruct when I just hit record on OBS. So, do you guys want to pick a ship or a crew? I'm going to do one random, and you can pick the other. If we do pick crew, I would ask that we have one of those 2 characters that we need extra memories from. Now I have to draw Squishmallows on my walls. Do they have, like, Squishmallow stickers? They probably do. I know, this little box that I have on my desk contains 2 little Squishmallow crabs that I was bringing with me while I was traveling because I needed them for luck. And one of them came in a tin that came with Squishmallow trading cards I didn't open. I don't know how cute they are. Yeah, they're very cute. I mean, I love a Squishmallow crab. They're like my favorite. They're like one of my very favorite things. But like the slightly bigger guy with the tag that's as big as he is, this guy came in a special little tin. And the special little tin also has a special little enamel Carlos pin that I have no idea what to do with, but it's very cute. Anyway, so I guess you guys want to pick a crew then? So let's randomize ship. The ocean is called Max, which is fair. I was thinking about putting it on the streaming hat. I kind of feel like I need, and I don't know if this is going to translate into an obvious sentiment or if I'll have to explain this at great length. I kind of feel like I've reached a point where I need, like, an adult hat. Which is to say, like, a hat that I can wear while trying to seem like a professional adult. I don't know what that looks like. But, like, to be honest with you, I've reached a point where I think that technically I'm losing enough hair that I should seriously consider, like, shaving my head, and I don't want to. Because I'm really concerned that I'll look even worse, and it will make me very sad. But I also just think that my insanely thin hair on the top of my head is, like, just not doing it for anyone, including myself. Which is why I determined recently, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, I think the reason I've always looked good in hats is because it concealed one of my worst physical features, and I just didn't notice it. So, like, my options are to, like, go all in and, like, shave my head or wear hats. So, thinking about hats. Could attach the Carlos pin to a scarf so you're not poking holes in shirts. That's a clever idea, although it does require me to wear a scarf. Not sure about that. Your brother was a hat guy for that reason. How is that received by people? I mean, I feel like that is a reason why, like, in eras like the Old West, hats were, like, pretty prevalent among men, and we just sort of, like, forgot about that or something. It's not that I like don't have any hair on top. It's that it's thin enough that it draws attention to itself and can't be styled in any useful way. To the point that like anytime I go to get my hair cut by anyone, like I'll be like, just like do whatever, like make me not look like the biggest schlub in the world, and then they just cut it short. They never can do anything for me because that's it. That's all they can do. There's nothing that anyone can do. You save on haircut expenses and travel. I don't know that that's true because I think then you have to invest in like skincare or something. You momentarily forget that I am constant summer. That's fair. Florida hats are probably a plus. I mean, it's true. I mean, part of the weird thing too, I guess, is that like living in Florida, even if I did shave my head, I would probably still need a hat. Cause like, there's no shot I'm just gonna like raw dog it against the sun. I'm so Irish. I appreciate that, Neko, although at the same time, I don't know. Like, I feel like we're getting into like embarrassing real talk with Vasco. Like, Vasco feels as though having his own house and like having other parts of his life sort of competently put together in the shape of an adult, like maybe it's a good time to try to start dating again. But then I remember that I look hideous, and then I'm like, well, what do I do about that? And then I end up in this sad cycle. So that's why I've been thinking about this recently. Now that it's been a few weeks, how does the weather compare? The funny thing is it's like reasonably comparable in my opinion. The funny thing is, I think Florida has a greater distinction between this, its summer temperature, and the rest of the year. It's not a huge difference, I don't think, but like I've talked to a couple people, particularly the pest folks, because I found some ants after a heavy rain at the start of this week. And so like I gotta, like, that's the thing I gotta do is just like find a treatment to keep bugs from getting in. There's a lot of bugs in Florida. But like the humidity is higher here, the temperature is lower. It averages out to feeling about the same, maybe feeling a little worse just because the humidity feels different than like a dry heat. But like it's pretty comparable overall. But like I have air conditioning here, so like that alone makes this experience like vastly superior. But like, yeah, so like I get the impression that like once the summer ends, it's like actually a little cooler. And at that point, it will be better than the ambient California temperature, which is like, in recent years has been like much of the year 90 plus, all the time, always. Transitioning in summer to Florida must be quite the move. I mean, when I talk to people about having just moved here, they're almost always like, ooh, yeah, and it's like deep summer, which is like the weirdest time in Florida. Because it's like hurricane season, and there's rains, and it's hot, and there's bugs. Like, apparently the bugs aren't as big a problem outside of summer. Like, summer's worst time for bugs as well. That's when he says, my family has hat heads, and brother ended up with collection from cowboy hat to top hat for work and baseball hat. If you're not looking, you get found. Ice Bunny, let me tell you how false that is. Because, like, for much of my life, I wanted nothing more than to, like, find, like, a partner. And even though, like, I was rarely in a situation where, like, I was in proximity to someone who I felt was worth asking out and also had enough confidence to do so, like, I was, like, always playing an angle to try and, like, reach that point. And then, you know, like I started streaming as like kind of a second job and like focusing on other stuff outside of that. And like I haven't been trying to date for like 5 or 6 years. And I sure as heck wasn't found. Like not at all, not close. Cause like the thing is, you get found if you have like a magical meet cute moment where like the perfect person bumps into you, or if you're attractive. I don't have access to those. That's nice of you to say, Neko. I do think I actually do have a nice smile. I think it's a little crooked, unfortunately, but I think overall it's still a plus. Does anyone want to pick crewmates, or do we just want to go full random, by the way? Evolution says, by the way, I took my vacation time for the rest of the year. As if you don't use it, you lose it at my place. That sucks. I hate that policy. I'm glad my company doesn't do that. Kind of surprised by it. Got a week off in October, November, and December to do nothing. Hey man, that's like, in your case, that's a great way to use it. Like, a big part of the anxiety and stress of the move for me is that I missed like 1.5 days of work for the entire duration of like being moved out of my apartment and like till now. Like, I took 1 day off to travel to here because the time difference and the amount of time it takes to fly across country burns the majority of a day. And then like I just had to oversee the actual like move to of like belongings into my house, and it just took longer than I could justify just like calling in like a lunch break or a whatever. So I took like 1.5 days off, and a large part of that was to like preserve vacation time for the end of the year, which should still work out the way I wanted, even though there was some weird ambiguity about like I would lose vacation time changing states for reasons that no one could explain to me. Books Drake. Great. That honestly sounds terrible, but we have the Aries, so I feel good about it. System time corrupted. Please. Ooh. How spicy are we feeling? No, wait a minute. I rescind this offer immediately. If we give up... Oh no, War Prep is separate. This isn't Slay the Spire where every class has one unique artifact to start with. So we would lose Warp Prep. So we wouldn't start with a shield or a move, but we would get a boss artifact, which could be anything, even a boat. Assuming that one of the artifacts that I haven't discovered is a boat artifact. Like the Ship of Theseus. Full spice? Alright. Oh no. It's one of my least favorite artifacts in the game. The run is going to be so spicy. High frequency intercom. Draw an additional 2 cards every turn. Sounds good. Bear with me. You are offered 1 fewer card every post-battle card reward. Okay, so your options are slightly worse. But you could still choose not to take one of the bad options, right? False. Keep reading. You may no longer skip any card rewards. This is awful. This might genuinely be my least favorite artifact in the game. I don't think I've ever taken it because I hate it so much. Again with this. Can we just take a break this time? Find a nice beach planet somewhere? Beach planet? Please, no. What does it matter? Do they not make black faux leather bathing suits specifically for hackers? Actually, they do. Oh, you were making fun of me. Well, we can't move, which is a bad start. But we have 1 billion cards and max, I guess. Yeah, I think we are playing the game of solving. Oh, now we have like unpolished crystal in our deck. Oh, God. I mean, I suppose we should like... We're so hosed. Like, this is gonna be so bad. Like, this isn't even like a good starting deck. What do I want? Crystal or dodge or shield? Could also just heat sink. I guess dodge? I don't know. Crystal, I guess? God, admin deploy is like so bad by default with toggle cannon. I think this is the literal worst start I've ever seen to a Cobalt Core run by like a lot, by like a huge margin. It's so bad. Just like shoot him. I don't know. And I can't get a new shard, so I can't mage hand again. I guess I can like toggle cannon EMP slug again. And I suppose I'll heat sink because otherwise I'm definitely going to kill myself. Did they just like pass and do nothing? I guess technically I had negated all things they were doing, but did they also not move? Something felt weird about that. So I can like dodge and... I mean, it doesn't do anything. I guess I just like dodge and shoot twice, and yeah, I guess. Pew, pew. I really don't like Max. If somehow we get to the end of a run with Max today, we're gonna get a Max memory. EMP slug again. These draws are very funny. I mean, I guess it helps that we're drawing like our entire deck. Not literally, but quite close to it. I am currently prevented from skipping card rewards, so I can choose between admin deploy, which I just said works very badly with our deck, or meteor, which can move us one in either direction, which I guess is good because we get no movement to start. And then if we have a shard, it makes a rock. A magical rock that can make a shard for later. The poison for Cusco. We're probably going to want to remove a bunch of cards, so I'm going to opt to... I also don't know that I particularly want to challenge an abnormally high number of elite enemies, considering. Oh, good, it's sports. There's no shot I'm taking the sport ball here. Like, I can't have extra cards in my deck. I can't do it. Let's try. This seems awful. I should have known that we would play the game of sobbing today after just the whole way that this week has gone. Oh, it's gonna be really hard for us to, like, move to ever hit the ball. Just throw up some temporary shield, I guess. If I move and then spend my shard to make meteor, doesn't that move the ball? Nah. But if I shoot the ball and then it hits the meteor I just created, doesn't that move the ball? Yes. And it gives me that shard back, like I mentioned earlier. And then he wants to shoot me for like 2? I mean, I wish you wouldn't. Soccer ball shaped ship is cute. It's pretty good. So is Sasha, the soccer wolf. Shard, I guess? Man, if we had, like, hand cannon, the card that does damage equal to the number of cards in your hand, that'd be shway. So I can shoot this sucker for 2. And then... meteor move? Cool. And then... toggle cannon? And shoot it again? That was a shockingly productive turn. So I have shard. Go owl. Somebody says, I should not look at the sneak peek at the Flying Tiger Shop's web shop. Instead of doing that, then, explain to me what that means, because I'm curious. You wonder if there's a reference in the name? I assume there is, but it's sports. Okay. Shield memory. That's not going to be it for us, because we're going to make none shields, probably. Armored bay. I mean, armor's probably pretty good on our small ship. Piercer is... it only does your first attack? Yeah, and take armor, I guess. Our ship doesn't... it has, like, armor... wait a minute, do I have... oh, it's the missile bit, right? Not the comm station or whatever? Yeah. Yeah, I need more armor. Because I can't dodge attacks or whatever. Any treasure lately? I don't want admin deploy. I don't want it. Random encounter. I really need to minimize random encounters as much as possible because they threaten to give me cards I don't want. They start with a shield drone. I don't remember this enemy. Bee boo 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 boo. Crystal shard. Honestly, I should probably slug them, huh? I mean, they'll gain a shield back, but I was like initially trying to just like work out how to like most efficiently remove this thing, but then they're just gonna have a missile aimed at me. Seems better to not get hit with a missile and do some damage and like gain some ground to start with. I think that was smart. Bee boo 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 boo. Man, this sucks. I think I'm gonna flip this. So I put a meteor where one of the missiles. Nope, miscalculated that by being good at math and arts and crafts and also the guitar. Shoot and dodge. Boy, that's a lot of shield guys. Well, I think Meteor's doing some good work for us so far. Oh, I don't have shard. Yes, I do. Shut up. So I'm gonna move left and then make Meteor into that thing. Great. Okay. Probably should have shot this guy first because I want to do that this turn also. Yeah, kind of screwed that up reasonably badly. Understood. Oh well. Can't really do too terribly much here, so I guess I'm just gonna shoot him twice and offset that shield a little bit. Don't thank me for streaming, Demolition. Thank Justice Fruit Pies. And also just thank you for watching. Okay. Shard. A lot of the cards in my deck are pretty bad, huh? I've drawn like every basic card in my deck and it's just kind of a bummer. So their missile is actually going to blow up their own thing that they already made. So if I could stun this left thing, I'd be having a really good day. Proverbially speaking. Instead, I think I'm just gonna like shoot Riot. Okay, so we will. Tom Cannon so that I can basic shot to get rid of the shield drone. And then I think I'd rather like gain a movement for next turn. And then... For some reason I was thinking I would have lethal this turn, but I can't possibly do that, right? How much do you do? What? No, you're the upgraded. You do 2. I mean, I should Mage Hand, because it's just like the most efficient damage there. I guess I don't care too much about taking damage because of the shield that I have, which is sufficient. And also I'm armored. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him. Ice Bunny says, how to explain Tiger? They have a wide mix from seasonal goods, stationery, craft stuff, toys, and all for small money. The name Tiger is a pun because it refers to the animal, but it is the Danish word for 10. In the beginning, the stuff they had in the shop cost 10 or 20 kroners. Oh, I see. We have stuff like that in America. Like, we have dollar stores, and also something called Five Below, which is like a dollar store, but up to $5. Cannon toggle. Shoot. Let's change out some stuff and get new things every 4 weeks. That's exciting. Oh my god, admin deploy. Why? Why with the admin deploy? It's like the worst card in this deck. Stop it! I guess I'm taking heat sink. I guess I should then lean into as many, like, massive burn myself effects as possible, huh? Alright, what else can I, like, get rid of? Because I don't think I have any cards worth upgrading. I guess I could, like, upgrade these basic things so that they just happen for free. God, it's so bad. I can also upgrade Meteor so it doesn't cost Shard, but I don't think I need to do that yet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna upgrade, like, basic block? God bless America. We're so doomed. We're so doomed. Oh, actually, this is tough. Because I was thinking, like, oh, well, the basic random encounter that's, like, on the upper path here is gonna be, like, common cards, and common cards kind of stink on average, but, like, rare cards are like high variance. Sometimes the rare cards are super not useful. Oh, whatever, it's a spicy run. I'll just, I'll take the pad that hits a question mark, so at least I get one fewer junk card. So I get, enemies have automatically weak cockpits. That's helpful. Apparently this ship is all cockpits. It's me, Spike 2. Why are you calling yourself Spike 2? And doesn't the fact that they remember that they're called Spike 2 suggest that they have crystals from the Cobalt Core? I have questions, I guess, is my point. I did not draw the Shard card, huh? That's, like, really extremely bad. That's very upsetting. It's because I have all these heat sinks in my hand instead. Whoopee. Ugh. I'm just so sad. That's when he says, it reminds me to get a big tote box for my Halloween stuff. I saw a witch animatronic that would go well in a Halloween decoration in the glass house. What is your... Hey chat, what's everyone's favorite holiday? I would say the biggest stream holiday for me is Halloween. But my personal favorite holiday is Christmas, which works out because then I'm not overly stressing about stream stuff around Christmas. I'm doing that to myself in October and sometimes September a little bit. Okay. I don't love this situation. Free block. Let's... Oh, it's this idiot. I want to swear. Free block. Weeping intensifies. Okay. So if I pay attention, I will notice that this is the counterattack ship that I don't like battling. It's very annoying. However, I've drawn non-attacks again on the turn where they're not threatening me because my deck is in the antithesis of useful mode, and now, like, essentially none of the cards in my hand do anything at all. So I guess I'll just shuffle my hand and pass the turn. Shard. Heat sink, dodge, to the left, toggle, shoot. Alright, they're not countering this turn. Shard, free block, mage hand, basic shot. I guess... I don't know, meteor for fun? I want a meteor this way. I think it's more likely to protect me than the other direction. Nope. Equally unlikely, it turns out. Luckily, I have that free block saving my bacon. Demolition also likes Christmas best. For what seem like, you know, the classic Christmas traditions. Family, presents, music, food. Ice Bunny says, if family would not be such a pain, Christmas. I get that. It is a challenge. Good, I'm glad I drew into the thing that would do self-harm. I don't actually remember them putting a second safety override in my deck, but it probably happened on that turn where they weren't attacking me, huh? Boy, it sure sucks to be me here right now. Why did I think that stopping their intention to attack me would stop me from being shot? That's not how that works, but I sure convinced myself that it would work that way. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. That kind of did what I wanted, but it ultimately didn't matter. Boy, this hand sucks. God, come on. Ah! Save me, Jeebus! Toggle. Shoot. Move. Shoot again. I wasn't sure if it would counterattack, so I didn't want to get hit. What excitement have you missed so far? Welcome to the stream, Sniper Justin. Hello. This is probably the spiciest Cobalt Core run I've ever done. We started with the we got the option to replace, I think it's called Warp Drive, the thing that you get by default for like all ships that starts you with a movement and a shield, with a boss artifact, and it gave us like the worst one, which is like you draw a bunch of extra cards, but now you can never skip taking a card. And you have fewer to choose from, so you're more likely to get something bad. And also, my assortment of characters isn't particularly strong, mainly because it includes Max, and almost every Max card I've ever seen I don't like. So, all reliable lets me just make a mana rock. It's straightforward, it costs relatively little. Overclock Adds 2 to the next status you gain. So if I take some card that gives... Oh my god, my deck is all built around... My deck is all built around the fire status. I can't take that, because the next status I'll get is fire, and then I'll immediately burn to death. It's too spicy! Take Old Reliable and sob. Rock collection. 2 geodes will always be near your ship. Yeah, more rocks. That seems good. The rocks told me I had greatness inside of me. Every 5th time you attack, you gain an evade. That's not it, Chief. Sharp edges. Every time you're... No, we're never shuffling our discard pile into our deck because we're taking infinite cards. Rock collection. Question mark. Whoa, my head. Ah, you again. An extraplanar being. Neat. What do you... Oh, it's this thing. I mean, I guess at least I can exhaust it from my deck. I'm going to take damage this time, so... The next time I'm in some bummer fight that's freaking me out, I'm just gonna, like, shoot him really hard and leave. Delicious says, we wanted a spicy deck and expected jalapeno, but got Carolina Reaper. That's about the size of it, yeah. Nico had responded to my earlier question about what everyone's favorite holiday in chat was with, I love Christmas and Halloween. Halloween isn't something... she feels like she could celebrate, but love the season of spooky stuff. Christmas has the best food, though. But it's always been hard since leaving your family. How is your experience at Christmas since you don't, like, have to live with your family full time now? What am I doing in this shop, by the way? I just, like, what? Is there a card that'll let me turn some comically large number of magical meteors into, like, a win condition? So you can't upgrade these. I tried that the last time we ended up here. I can make heatsink cost 0, huh? It's not great. I think I'm just, like, upgrading all of the basic cards so that they cost 0. And then if I somehow hit, like, 1 billion stores, then do that to heat sinks, and then give priority to removing some terrible card I end up with. That's when he says, I like to go gift shopping. My niece's birthday is on Boxing Day, and my sister-in-law's family was very hard to deal with, even when my brother was still around. Now I would go mad if I had to be in the same room as my sister-in-law. That, based on what little I know, that makes a lot of sense to me. I cannot fake that I hate each and every one, so my plan is to drink Swedish mullet wine the day before. I mean, in the scheme of things, I feel like you got that on lock. I was talking today to my mom about my philosophy about socially faking stuff, and I feel like I am... It's one of the things I'm actually good at, but the problem is I also have, like, mental health issues, primarily depression, and when the depression is active, obviously that becomes a lot harder, and under, like, sustained stress, that is much more likely to happen. I think I'd rather upgrade dodge before the shots, because I may end up wanting to remove the shots for a better type of attack I get at some point. Whereas, like, basic dodge is usually good. I briefly thought that I had stumbled upon yet another version of Crystalline Entity that spawned missiles to start with, but I just wasn't paying attention. I guess Old Reliable will help me in this tight spot. And then the rest of my hand does nothing, much like the goggles. Oh, boy. Like, literally, I have 3 energy and none actions to do with them. Like, I could play a bunch of cards from my hand, but what do they do? I guess gain a shield and then, like, move right back where I started? Whoopee. Well, now I have a bunch of shards, now that I've drawn a card that could generate shards for me trivially easily. Let's go ahead and toggle and shoot, and then crystal, I guess. Good. That armor that I requested earlier will again save my bacon, an expression I may never have used in my life and have used twice during this stream. New Year's Eve is nice too. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of New Year's Eve. I don't know if that's a radical thing to say. Part of it is because that's very much like a drinking holiday, and I don't really drink. Much like I don't particularly care about St. Patrick's Day. If I don't really drink, I mean, I literally don't drink at all. And I don't know why I would mitigate that. Also, I have a tendency... It's not like a strong, like, judgmental negative feeling, but, like, I do think that people have a tendency to overinvest in the idea of the new beginning of the new year and make resolutions that they definitely won't keep. And I don't know, like sometime in my like late 20s or early 30s, I just sort of set my mind to like, I'm just gonna like make a conscious effort to self-improve as much as I can always. And then like New Year's resolutions seem redundant. And to be honest, I feel like that's been working pretty well for me. My deck is so bad. I just hate it here. Draw me a card that's not bad, please. Okay, you technically succeeded at that. I guess I don't have to move. I was thinking of Heat Sink, which I probably might as well do because I have 3 energy and none actions. Well, not none actions the way I did last turn. But like shoot and then just like get rid of some burn for later in case I stack up somehow. Interesting. I didn't think that percentage of chat was like so low on drinking. Nico says she hates New Year's. For one thing, the drinking. Secondly, it gives me dread for what's to come. That's probably some version of your own mental health kicking in there, but I don't mean that in a judgmental way. I just mean like that feels like an anxiety-driven thing. And I do find that relatable, but probably not to the degree that you have described that. It's funny, says, in Copenhagen, I just have to sit on my balcony and enjoy the others around me. Paid a ton of money for. Listening to the Queen's speech. This isn't a tradition I know of. What is the Queen's speech like on New Year's? Let me just play a bunch of free cards. Pretend like I'm paying attention to the game I'm playing. Let's do like Slug and Meteor and Toggle? Maybe I should have mage handed in there. Got some shard, bro. Got like a lot going on here. I'm not like a big fan, to be honest with you. Kind of like a regular sized fan, I guess. I guess I'm taking 2, which I already am blocking, so I might as well just shoot twice. Nico says, I am a very anxious person, to be fair. New Year just feels like a Monday. Yeah. That's relatable, too. It's funny, said, oh, fireworks. Fireworks accompany the Queen's speech. That's nice. Demotion says, once in 2021 during that night of unexpected productions, I know the one. It's some celebratory drink. One was a cinnamon toast crunch flavor drink. Very good. Regret that still. That seems fair if you attribute any part of that night to the drink. So I got 3 energy, none beef. Probably want to like... Meteor EMP Slug is my impression? I don't know if that's right. That takes like a minimal amount of damage while doing a decent amount in return. I keep not being able to play Mage Hand because I draw it on a turn that is inconvenient. Shard. Drew the Slug again. That was a really good draw. I am a little hot. Oh, I'm actually very hot. Heat Sink? Good. I guess I'm glad I have too many of those. Block, move, shard. Our deck is kind of interesting, even if it's horrible. I don't think this fight is meant to go on this long. I don't really remember it getting this intense. It's very threatening. Let's Meteor to the left. That blocks a 2-shot. This reduces this to 1 damage. So we're taking 3. And then Mage Hand reduces it to... Well, no, I guess I already had shield. It's fine. I wanted to do damage. That would have melted at room temperature anyway. Okay, really... well, I guess the damage is off on the left now, so it's a little bit of a reprieve for us. I'm kind of liking having all these zero-cost cards, even though I still think our deck is terrible. And I guess I'm just attacking this turn? No, wait, if I do that, then I get heat damage. And I think it's Slug and Heat Sink. I don't want to take the direct damage. But it does mean taking a shield hit, which is probably fine. I could just kill this thing now. It is at exactly lethal. Demolition follows up. Funny thing is I only drink maybe 2 to 3 times per year at my birthday, Christmas, maybe 1 or 2 other days. My tolerance is very low compared to others. So any drinking holiday is anathema. I mean, I definitely have respect for people who just don't like to drink that much. I definitely respect that more than... I've had a couple friends who are like, yeah, I drink like minimum once per day, but like sometimes like up to 3 times. It's like, oh no, oh no, please. But like, you know, I would say that those people are in the threshold of like a problem that's probably somewhat outside of their control. So I don't mean that to be super judgmental, but just like the effort to act like it's not a problem is the concerning part of that. But like for me, I just like, I'm not interested in drinking. That poison isn't for, I mean, that I guess that is the poison for Cusco because he's supposed to be dead. I don't think alcohol will kill you, but like it will reduce your cognitive power to some probably a measurable degree, but that still doesn't sound good. And then you have like hangover because it's like literally poison. Like I just don't get it. I don't get how we've socially normalized that. I'm gonna hold on to the 7 damage because I think I have this fight in hand. And I want that, like, panic switch for something else. Guess I'm shielding this turn, but I guess I'd be doing that anyway. So I'm taking 3, and I have 3 shield. I could try to preserve some shield for later with the reroll. That actually sounds alright. Let's hedge, do a reroll, and 1 extra damage. Free move, shard. Look at all this move I have. I'm acting like I can't move at all, but I can move so much. They call them fingers, but I've never seen them think. Boy, there's a lot happening, huh? How about we heat sink, toggle, slug, and then take 1 instead of like 3? There's probably a way I could have done 1 more damage at this point in my life than I had done. What time is it? It's already 11:23. Draw? Oh, 0 draw! I've been upgrading these cards to cost 0. 0 draw. I don't know if it's good, but it is spicy. I mean, Serenity is kind of an easy pick at rare, and in a lot of cases would be like, just definitely the only thing to consider, but like, let's go 0. 0 doubler. Each turn, the first time you play a zero-cost card, zero twice. Or glass cannon is you gain extra energy, but your cannons become weak. Help me. Help. Please don't do that to me. And dirty engines is like the only other artifact that comes to mind that's in contention with like high frequency radio for like absolute worst one. So we'll take zero doubler and call them poplars. I just keep spamming Futurama references and I don't know why. I've drawn almost no zero cards and this one exhausts itself. What a bad time to draw a zero draw. Really gotta start upgrading those heat sinks or something. Okay. Yeah, this hand's super bad. Guess I'll move and shoot your weak spot. And then, like, make a rock. Oh, right, I double rocked, so now I have shard. Hooray? If I'd thought that through, I could have made another rock off the other card. Can I move? Not presently. Well, that's not great. It's probably like Mage Hand. Yeah, Mage Hand reroll is good. That's enough shield to make it through the turn. I'd like to do EMP slug damage, but I can't stun anything relevant. I'd love to do EMP damage, but it's not in my hand. Oh, just kidding. Got there, because it was a zero cost effect. Do you see what's happening? I'm starting to learn how my own deck works. This costs 0. Shoot 'em. That's exhaust. Discard is 1 zero-cost card. This is going well. What are the upgrades for zero draw, I wonder? Loudly do I wonder this. Meteor, I guess. I don't know what I expect to draw into off of Crystal Shard that matters at all, but I'm gonna zero draw. Well, that didn't matter at all. Could have done 1 additional damage, but hopefully that doesn't break the bank. Alright, toggle cannons. Oh, I thought I had the other one active. Now I'm in bad space. I draw so many cards that I keep having none zero-cost cards in my discard pile at the same time that I have zero draw. I really goofed this turn very badly. I'm very upset about it. I can't, like, do anything now. I'm just gonna... I shouldn't have moved. I should have just heat sunk. Draw twice? Well, I can't stun that. I can, however, jam a meteor in its way. And then, like, shoot twice. I find that, like, we're weirdly suited to battling... I should have done Crystal Shard first, because I have a doubling artifact. It's fine. Let's move EMP Slug into range, and then draw, and then Mage Hand. Okay, Ice Bunny elaborates on the Queen's speech. You gather around the TV with a glass of bubbly and some Karansa cake? And then you listen to what Granny Queen has to say, and last year she dropped a bomb. Literally? Usually she talks about what happened, and some years she told the country off, and to remember that her family is from all over. My mom and I always admire the flower decoration, and the Queen wishes a Happy New Year to the Danish minority, Greenland, and Faerorn? Isn't that where Dungeons and Dragons takes place? Is Faerun? At the end, you see the Queen's Guard Band play the royal anthem. Yeah, I mean, that kind of, it's not exactly the same. It kind of makes me think of like Thanksgiving traditions here in the US, of like, not for everyone, but like my family's always done like the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, where, you know, they make balloons out of popular children's cartoons and floats with like musical performers and things like that. And like it's a thing that you gather around and you experience, and then you eat too much. The ordering is a little different, but it's kind of similar. Denmark is D&D accurate confirmed. That's my understanding. Is that somehow not accurate? Do I want to draw like 1,000? Obviously, 0 draws in the discard pile on like the turn I could make use of it. Woody-doo. Oh, it's fine. If I just move over and shoot them, they die. Okay. Desperate measures. Gain a shield, gain a temp shield, gain like a lot of heat. I don't think that's where we're at because our heat sinks don't cost 0 right now. Bloodstone Bolt does a hull damage, deals 3 damage. If you have 2 shard, heals you for 1. I mean, I think that's going to be it because, like, after the first turn, we're usually topped off. Hilariously, both of these cards cost... Oh, man. Can you imagine Desperate Measures doubled? I mean, I guess 6 heat is really the same as 3, if I understand the effect correctly. It says, for Christmas, do you like music on the radio? What about pre-Thanksgiving October? I mean, my dad is very big on Christmas music and will listen to it at times of year that aren't Christmas. So he sort of curates music to play like before the Christmas meal and at least sometimes before Thanksgiving. So I really want like maximum shop, minimum blue encounters, which I think is like straight across and then up, over, and through the question mark. Okay, we gotta upgrade something. What are the upgrades to 0 draw? Gain an energy draw all 0 card costs from your discard pile. 0 draw costing 1 could be good. I don't think we're at the point where that's the thing I want. I'm honestly not sure if upgrading basic shots to cost 0 or heat sinks to cost 0 makes more sense. There's pros and cons to both. I think with EMP Slug being so central to our deck, although I guess Bloodstone Bolt is going to start doing some heavy lifting as well, maybe? Heatsink might be better. But also just being able to fire off the shots every time we draw them could make these encounters shorter. They've been pretty insufferable. The real idea is probably to, like, go half and half on that. Can Meteor cost 0? It's the duel guy again. Let's just shoot his weak point and be done with it. I'm not offering a duel today, jerk. Now that's interesting. Is that because I've accidentally violated the rules too many times? I think that's happened twice. There was a point where like I had a randomly generating weak spot thing, and there was a time when... What was the other reason? These were both relatively recent. It would be kind of funny to just explode him. I don't think that's what I want to do. Ice Bunny says, the bomb that the Queen dropped last year said she was abdicating because she had a major back surgery and was not up to represent the representational job due to the pain. Gave everyone only 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, y'all have a king. Is a bomb or not? Yeah, no, that's a bomb. That's for sure a bomb. I think I need to draw more. I think I need to toggle cannon. If he's not offering a duel, I'm just gonna, like, shoot him for massive damage. Reliable's not really doing it for me. Free block. Got enough shard to do the trick, huh? Wow, we took him out in like 2 turns by just attacking his weak point for massive damage. I really don't want Desperate Measures. I guess I'll take Dice Roll. It kind of works with our deck, I guess. It costs 0 and is an attack, but it doesn't go to the discard pile, so the fact that it costs 0 is pretty inconsequential. It does make you discard, but, like, I don't know, we have some junk cards, why not? Upgrade. Let's upgrade Dice Roll, do. Not a lot. I guess having it do 2 damage per 0 is good. It's kind of an Arc Slogger, which is a reference that is lost on 200% of my viewing audience. It's like a deep cut even by Magic the Gathering standards, and there's your hint. I don't know, with the meteors and stuff, I'm a little less concerned about dodging as much as I have been. Attacks cost 0. Fight the upper boss. Oh boy. Shard. Shard again. If at first you don't succeed, etc. So if I use 0 draw now, I'd be guaranteed 1 damage and max oh. Well, I accidentally hit end turn, which was definitely worse than any of the things I was weighing. Good job. Oh, that's why, because the back button almost overlaps the end button. And I was busy looking at my discard pile, because it was relevant. It's very exciting for me. Let's Bloodstone Bolt. I see what happened. That was the first 0 card cost I played, and I didn't have enough shard to heal again. I was briefly confused. Could just toggle here? No, my hand doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna play cards, I guess. Yeah, you reorder that last card in my hand I'm not playing. Let's play, oh god. I wanted to play Old Reliable, but it just blows itself up if you do that. If I play Dice Roll, I'll discard 4 cards and do 1 damage. Actually, I guess I'll do 2 damage. What I'm trying to tell you is that my hand is very bad right now. I think in this position, Old Reliable makes a moderate amount of sense. Because the first rock destroys this one, and then I get shard, and then I make another rock. Did I already play a zero cost and just forget about it? It sure feels like that's what happened. I'm just gonna meteor and sob a little bit. Oh no, wait. I don't really care about the cards in my hand. So I should dice roll? Nope, doesn't matter. Should have paid more attention to the zero cost card I was playing. I got excited about the fact that I had zero draw. I think I just want a heat sink. Part of me wants to just like fire off all the cards in my hand for dice roll, but then I have to deal with taking damage, and I don't want to do that. What can I draw? Honestly, just doubling attack seems like it's better than Shard. Probably isn't. I did it. I used all my cards. Sort of. Three, and then 3 again. Alright. Enrage. Apply permanent damage boost to opponent, but then cancel everything they're doing this turn. Or when you lose a game of Civilization and you just need one more turn. Heatwave feels a little more like it. Wait, Heatwave A increases your killing power and decreases your heat? That's just silly. Nanofiber hull probably good for us having potentially duplicating blood shard or whatever that thing is called. Ooh, jettison hatch. I mean, I've really carefully curated my deck, so I don't think I currently need it, but it would be good. I think I'm going to take Nanofiber Hull. And then get Shard Enchanter. The first time you play a Crystal Shard each turn, gain Temp Shield. Why not? Question mark. What? Is this the last character? What's happening? Is that one of the crew stuck in a crystal? We might be able to get them out. But we don't have room for more in here. One of you will have to go into cryostasis again. Oh, no. You won't survive without me. Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. I thought this would be like, because the main menu has one more locked character. I thought it was, I don't think I've seen this event before, so I thought what was happening is that, like, I had to get, like, a low encounter rate chance to, like, unlock that last character. But, like, I think it's just an option, like, if you find that your crew composition is lacking, you can, like, replace one of them. I mean, this is the requested team, and I need Max to go to the end, and the others are kind of doing all of the work because Max is so bad, so I think I'm just gonna stick with it. Bloodstone Bolt's pretty bad on this turn, huh? I think I want to start with basic block. And then, like, heat sink. EMP slug on the weak spot that's firing a missile. And then do... Oh, I can't do bonus damage. Because this is, like, special type of ship that, like, removes its weakness. Well, fine then. I guess I'll just make a rock. So I can double heat wave because it costs 0. And then how much damage can I do? That increases everything by 2, so I could do like 7 damage? I'm not sure that's it. Now, playing Heat Wave twice does put me in self-damage territory, but I did take an artifact that heals me after combat. So, like, come see, come saw. I'm doing it. It's the spicy run. I can't not immolate myself. So I think I shoot for reduced damage because it becomes armored. Crystal. Right, that gives me temp shield. And then heat sink so I don't immediately burn to death. I can heat wave again, and I have residual heat wave from last turn. I think I can win that way. I'm very hot. So if I zero draw, and then heat wave again, and then basic shot. Somehow we're making this work. What is this? Draw 1 cards, retain, exhaust. I mean, this is the definition of a card that basically doesn't take up space in your deck. Like, if I had to come up with an abstract concept of a card that, like, didn't dilute your deck or contribute anything meaningful, it would be this. There's no opportunity cost to this card whatsoever. It's just... it basically is the next card in your deck. But you can save it, why don't you, and then draw into a card later because it stays in your hand. It's actually, like, pretty good. Okay, I found another shop. What am I doing with my life? Making heat wave so it doesn't kill me? Sounds smart. I mean, the highest priority outside of that was heat sink, which I wanted to make 0 so I'd have a 0 cost way to reduce heat. But heat wave A is just better at that. So I can't think of a reason why I wouldn't just do that instead. Now, upgrading Bloodstone Bolt, there is a legitimate argument for that. Because then there's a lower shard cost for restoring your health after doing the damage, which is important as we may occasionally double it. So you can upgrade Spacer to, like, give you a nominal bonus in addition to not being a card. It's pretty good. I do want to upgrade Zero Draw, but upgrading Heat Wave is, like, way more important. So let's upgrade Heat Wave. A boss. Heat Wave, Heat Wave. Basic shot. All reliable, I guess? It doesn't really matter. Draw? EMP slug. I don't think that's gonna do it. I'd rather zero draw into Heat Wave again. Basic Shot, and then Mage Hand because I can? Wish I had that shard last turn. It's fine. I'll make use of it this turn. So if I... Meteor... It doesn't disrupt anything. Okay. But if I play Bloodstone Bolt first, it's pretty bad for me. So I think I need to basic block. Meteor. Bloodstone Bolt their weak spot. I got armor. I'm not concerned about this. Dice roll? Dice roll? I think this deck is accidentally insane. Crystal to draw into things? Like Heat Wave? There's some movement. I think I want to like heat sink Meteor? No, that's stupid. No, maybe it's not stupid. And then just like Heat Wave. And I guess... Would I rather hit them? Yeah, I think so. So I take 1 damage, none damage? Yeah, that's fine. Got that temp shield from a series of artifacts, after all. Let's block twice because I'm concerned about doubling Bloodstone Bolt when they're at 11. Oh, never mind. I had lethal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, these are both bad. Oh god, they're so bad. Yeah, I don't want any of this garbage. Overclock is such a fun card in theory that I only ever seem to draw when I either have like none status or like pure fire status, which is a bad one that you don't want amplified. From Hell's Heart, just I'm not trying to be dead out here. It's slightly more useful, but I just absolutely don't want it. Gain 1 extra energy each turn, gain 1 heat each turn. Well, these are like the 2 worst artifacts I don't have, so I guess I'll take Thermoreactor and have more heat status. Still don't have a name for Zone 3. All the 0 cost stuff in my hand doesn't go to the discard pile and doesn't work with 0 draw. I also can't move? Okay, I'm gonna draw some cards. Alright, well this isn't good. I mean, I guess I'm toggling cannon? I guess I can get Heatwave back with 0 draw. I think I do a die roll before making any other calls. So I think I want to, like, Mage Hand die roll. Your invention of Cinnamon Toast Crunch got you hungry, and now you have a bowl of it. That's the way to live your life, Demolition. You keep it up. Let's double crystal. Okay, it's not great. I mean, it's like heat sink, blood bolt, basic shot, reroll. So now I'm taking 2, and I could take 2 this way but get a shard? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I didn't have a shard, so that's just really bad is what that is. Oh well, toggle. Doubling up on Ephemeral Blast is going to be really good against the final boss if it gets all the way there. Oh wait, Toggle Cannon costs 0. That's going to make this turn kind of awkward, huh? Cause either I toggle cannon twice, or I have to, like... No, I guess I could shoot first. Do I have a favorite cereal? I do, it's Frosted Mini Wheats. I haven't really been able to enjoy it at all recently because, well, I tried getting, like paper bowls and plastic spoons to tide me over until the fart water is cycled to being purified. See previous streams for explanation on fart water. And it's just kind of a bad experience. It's just like not doing it for me. Like the paper bowl kind of like soaks up the milk and or makes it taste a little papery. And the paper bowl isn't very deep, so you don't get very much cereal. And like normally it's like a big part of my like just daily diet. It's been very frustrating actually. I really want to be able to clean things. Thank you for the bits, Demolition. Thank you. You got bits burning a hole in your pocket lately? You've been so generous. Slugma. I'm gonna gain double dodge, move slug, move, shoot, shield. That turn was okay. I'm feeling hot. Double heat wave for sure. That's just a no-brainer. Basic block for free. 0 draw. Ooh, got some extra ones in there. That's the first time that's really happened. So let's toggle so our cannon is hitting their weak spot. And then heat wave again. And then shoot them. And then... honestly... dice roll. Just needed 1. I thought I needed at least 2 for some reason. Definition says, seeing aliens tomorrow. Got a Pokeball today. Sadly, they gave the wrong order. Yeah, I had some order troubles today. at lunch. Mom and I got lunch at Sonic Drive-In. I don't know the formal name of that place. Sonic, the fast food restaurant, not the Hedgehog. And like I had ordered like a combo with tater tots, and they just like didn't add that to our order. And so then we were like, oh, that's fine, but like, could we have tater tots? Like, we'll pay for them. And then they were like, hold on a second. And then 10 minutes passed and they didn't like charge us or do anything. It was really awkward. Ever go to Raising Cane's? No, I know of it. I've never been. There's certainly a few fast food places I've never been for like geographical reasons. Like there's a Zaxby's Chicken somewhere around here that I've seen, which I've never been remotely close to before to my knowledge. It's kind of like Sonic being car-centered. Huh, I didn't know that. I hadn't been given that impression based on what little I know about Raising Cane. So, Mining Drill cost 0 is a modal dual-faced card that lets me spend a shard to attack or spend an attack to shard, sort of. I mean, that seems reasonably flexible. Probably better than a slow shard that costs mana. I mean, I'm going... They're kind of similar, huh? Every path but the middle is, like, pretty similar. I should probably just end the stream. That's why he says, maybe adjacent to that, is Instapot any good? I don't know. Like, Instapot is too close to real cooking for me to dabble in it. It's the depressing real answer. Not very interested in cooking. The only time I've really learned to properly cook something was to impress my girlfriend when I was dating someone in college. Which, I would do it again, but by myself? Nah, not really. All the bad fast foods you have. I mean, it's not good for you, but it's very good. What was the food? Baked macaroni and cheese. She said it was her favorite thing. And I learned to make it really good, but it's been so long since I've made it that I'd struggle a little bit. She was really impressed that I learned how to make a white sauce, which was embarrassing because I didn't know that's what I did. I was like, I just followed a recipe that I found online. I'll go a little bit longer because we had some talking at the start. I'm gonna try to get to here. I'm gonna try to get to there. Oh, this is the guy with the expanding ship. I remembered why I have to blow you up. You killed my father! No, he didn't. That's not a very supportive attitude. Glad I have this card that costs 3 and does nothing, instead of a card that costs nothing and does 3. Be really nice if at the start of every combat I gained 1 move and 1 shield, don't you think? Should cook something nice for yourself sometime. But see, the problem, Nico, is that I don't enjoy making food. Not really. I mean, I don't really like food to begin with, so spending like a lot of time to make nice food it just like, it feels wasteful to me. It's different when it's for someone else, but like when it's for me, like, nah, if I want to do something nice, I'll like go to some fast food restaurant in lieu of cooking. That brings me joy. Kind of like can't move or do anything good, huh? Like this is like an especially bad draw for this deck. I like can't even. I could kind of do. Hold on. So I can like shoot this rock out of the way, which then gives me enough shard to mage hand their weak spot, which then I can like dice roll their weak spot. I thought I could get 3 in, but I forgot it could discard itself. Forgot it could tempt me with things that I want. I have none shard, huh? It's not ideal. It's not the desired number of shard. So my graveyard costs 0. Interestingly, I've engineered a situation where I could possibly have 2 toggle cannons in my hand. Oh my god. Do you have any idea how much more successful I would have to be than what I am to justify a cooking stream? Because I would only do it as content to make myself suffer. But it would also involve like an incredible amount of technical overhead. Like it would be a huge pain to do. Path of suffering leads to enlightenment. That's not true because I'm not currently enlightened and I do a lot of suffering. Also, I'm pretty sure the path of suffering leads to the dark side. Go check with Yoda. Is there some benefit to playing toggle cannon and then getting 2 toggle cannons in my hand? No, not technically, I don't think. Actually, that's not true. There is a benefit. Because if I toggle cannon, then I will have a cannon active facing their weak spot. But then when I do 0 draw, it means that I got 2 extra cards to add to my hand that can be discarded to dice roll to do more attacks against the weak spot. I probably shouldn't do Bloodstone Bolt unless I'm going to kill them. So, like, Heat Wave kind of drew real low on the effective 0 cost card spectrum. It's fine, because we have dice roll, and we just won't discard dice roll. Oh my god, that's literally the worst thing. Oh no, I still have Bloodstone Bolt. I thought it got Bloodstone Bolt, because it got whatever was next to it. Now I think that I still end up taking damage from this, don't I? But I'm going to take a bunch of damage if I don't do this. So I might as well take a damage. You would check with Yoda, but Acolyte's been cancelled. Hang on. Was Yoda in Acolyte? No one told me this. I feel like that's not true. Okay. Magic Battery B. If you have a shard, draw a card. If you have 2 shard, gain an energy. Or Math.max A. Draw 10 cards, draw 1 less cards next turn. Honestly, that might be okay. I can make it cost 0 and go away? That sounds pretty good. That means that I could draw 10 cards twice in the first play of a turn. I mean, I can't blame them for canceling Acolyte. It seemed... I don't know what they're doing with Star Wars. It seems like they just want people not to like it. That's what it feels like. I don't think Magic Battery is it. I think that's... We're not generating enough shard reliably enough for that card to be useful. In fact, we have like a 0 cost thing that wants 2 shards. Like, it's just competing with other space. We're getting a weird signal. An offering from another timeline. I mean, what could be spicier than taking a card that doesn't belong in our deck that we will be obliged to take one of 3 options and can't skip? The question I pose to you, chat, is which person's card does we take? I mean, Isaac's would do the least, for sure. Perry and Dizzy, I think, are reasonably close. I think Perry would be more useful to us, because we're not doing a ton of blocking. Which it says, one person put the Acolyte as the CW does Star Wars. I mean, that's just like one particular problem. Why is Mandalorian like a movie now? That's confusing. The Book of Boba Fett? Like what? Like what even was that? What happened there? It was like basically like... It was like the equivalent of like a diss track for Boba Fett in the form of like a short run TV series straight to streaming. That just like makes Boba Fett look terrible, and then in the end it tries to justify itself by just being the Mandalorian season 2.5. Like, it's just insane. Yeah, I'm not sure if this discussion of Kale in chat is meant as a sincere effort to get me to like prepare Kale for myself, but that feels misguided. Like, listen, I've been pretty good considering the fact that I started from a place of being the absolute worst when it comes to food. In the past like 4 years, I routinely keep like produce on hand, and that includes spinach that I try to eat at least like every other day in like a pretty reasonable serving size. In addition to like there being some places that I like when I order out from, I have like healthier options. But like you're just like you're gonna need a much better tactic if you want to try and convince me to cook. Like, I don't know what's going on in chat. That's just in discussion. That's fair. That's fair. Demotion says that Acolyte and Andor were the only truly good shows for Star Wars. Are you a long-time or reformed Mandalorian hater? Because like it seems like the popular thing to do was to like Mandalorian for like 1.5 seasons and then say that it jumped the shark, which I don't entirely agree with. I think there have been some weird decisions in more recent seasons, but I think Mandalorian's still good. It's maybe not at its best currently. But like, yeah, there are things I want to like about Andor, but like it needs to like Andor can't be in it. I know they're like at least talking about like a Mon Mothma spin-off. Give me that. I'd watch that. Mon Mothma's great. A bunch of the other characters in Andor are good too. Andor himself makes the whole show so much worse all the time. That is fair. I did not care for the season 2 ending and the weird CGI nonsense that required. There were a lot of things at that point that weren't great. All right, I don't think I've gotten a single response to what card we should take, so I'm going Perry because I'm an easy sell on Perry. Crap, these are bad. Can I make one of these cost 0? No. I mean, Lunge can help me move. I'm just gonna take Overpower. My terminal is sending commands I didn't input. They seem useful, though. All right, so this is our last decision of the stream. No, I realize it's not just. I'm trying not to be super specific about the somewhat spoilery end of season 2. It's kind of a big deal for Mandalorian, but like, I understand it's not just CGI that's a problem, but like conceptually, like it has like an AI type problem for me where they're like, yeah, we cast a guy who looks perfect for the role, but then we did weird CGI stuff instead of letting him just like do the role. Can you upgrade Ephemeral? Nope. I've checked it a couple times. Can't do it. Hell's Heart. What are the upgrades to this? Attack, damage equals your missing hull, heal 1. Lose all but 1 hull, attack damage equals your missing hull. Dry spit take here. No, I don't like that card at all. It's not my tempo. I mean, I don't really want it in my deck at all. I think that's better than upgrading anything. This is the final boss card. I mean, like, you could use that version of the card against the final boss if you drew it at the right time to great effect. It's still, I think, in most cases, worse than something like parry. But, like, I'm also concerned about, like, making it through the fights up to that point. Tell you what, just for you, Demolition, just for maximum spiciness, we'll save the decision on what to do with that miserable card I don't want for later, which leaves us with Upgrade, Overpower, or Zero Draw, or Math. Making Math 0 isn't super important. Making one of the 2-cost cards cost 1 seems better. Does Zero Draw be anything? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna upgrade Zero Draw. Alright, I've had a long week and a relatively early start to tomorrow. Not like an insanely early start, but just with the fact that, like, I know I'm going to want to edit this before going to bed and it's past midnight. Like, I don't want to be up super late. Also, it's, like, kind of a quiet chat night, which is totally fine, but just, like, it's always easier to justify staying up late when people are invested, you know? Now, before we go, we do still have to complete our final task for the evening, which is to find a secret Squirtle. Somewhere in the visible area behind me, I've hidden Squirtle. Possibly more than one. At least one. If you're able to locate a secret Squirtle in this fashion, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. So I encourage you to consider where you might find such a creature. Tuition says, now you know how we feel when on streams non-Pacific. I mean, you do realize that, I don't know if you realize this, but like the stream time that I was using of 6 p.m. Pacific for so many years was chosen because it was literally the earliest I could possibly stream after work. It's not like I was trying to make anything difficult for anyone. Like, I literally could not do it any earlier. Alright, so we got Carlos guess, Donut Dragon guess. Did you have a guess, Demolition? Did I miss that? You're already, you can't not go. We're already here. What is Monitors doing? Monitors are going crazy. Probably has something to do with the switcher. I don't think it's a big deal, but it doesn't like it. Vulpix. Which Vulpix? Which Vulpix? They're trying to use Vulpex as the plural? Like Moosin? Alright, let's go take a look. So, let's make sure you can see stuff as we're revealing it. Carlos! Continuing the trend of secret little crustaceans. Here's my tiny little Christmas ornament lobster. That's right, this little Lorenzo lobster is actually a Squishmallow Christmas ornament, which is why he's got a little ribbon loop. So, you know, sort of goes with this box of crabs and all that. Donut Dragon. Well, kind of close in that we have a Pokemon. It's Drifloon! And Vulpixen. We've got our Alolan Ice Vulpix. She had our little pirate man propped up on her tail. And classic Kanto region Vulpix. Little Spider-Man. Since it's the end of the week and I'll probably choose different characters to show off next week, I'll show you what I did. Oh, nope, that Squirtle fell down. There's a Squirtle. There's a Squirtle. You gonna see it? And there's a Squirtle. The top row was a winner. Thank you. I gotta say, I really like these Pokemon that I got from that candy store in Burbank. They have brought me a disproportionate amount of joy, even though they are kind of expensive because they're imports. Like, I really like Coughing. Just, they're all great. I just, there's something especially exciting to me about the Sandshrew and the Coughing because they're just not, they don't very commonly make good plush toys for them because they're not super popular Pokemon, but they're ones that I really like a lot. And they're both really good. They're both just really well made. Boop. Candy and Pokemon? What more could a person want? I think they had like anime mech model kits too, I think. And some like Hello Kitty stuff. There's kind of like a light Japanese curio shop and candy store. It's a really great place. Could say it should not be popular. Just look at those eyes. He curls into the perfect sphere. I know. I'm right there with you. But like, I don't know. In most Pokemon games, they're not very, like, competitively strong, and I don't think that they're super popular like other Pokemon that meet that description and still get a bunch of toys made. He does look good in a tiny pirate hat. I agree. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves and remember that you are clawsome. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of little guys.